Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super Chapter 62 Edge of Defeat review on the newest Dragon Ball Super manga. So what I'm going to do, like I always do, is I'm going to read a few panels every time. I might actually go over what I think in the middle of it and give you guys a kind of like a review while I'm actually going through the whole manga panel by panel. So give my thoughts and opinions on what we're seeing and this chapter looks like it's going to be as far as the title is concerned, Edge of Defeat. Doesn't look good for the Z fighters right now. So let's start it up. Of course, this is written by Akira Toriyama and art by Toriyama. So we start off the first panel sees that Piccolo goes. He has 7-3's power. In the previous chapter, Moro absorbed, well, kind of ate 7-3 and adapted his power and his abilities. So of course Moro confirms this and with quite glee. So he's super pumped that he's got 7-3's abilities. Goku, next panel, Goku's like, crud, it's one thing after another with this guy. And then Vegeta pops out of the ground that he was planted in. Of course, all epic fashion. Everybody's like, Vegeta, and Vegeta's like that, so I'll tear you apart once again. Classic Vegeta. He's obviously pissed that he's been bamboozled once again. It seems to be a continuous current thing with Vegeta. We thought Vegeta, this might be it. And it was looking like it. He was destroying Moro. He was taking him apart. But now he looks like he's getting beat down again. So he starts swinging at Moro. Of course, he's missing. And things just aren't looking well for Vegeta in these next few panels here. So he keeps swinging, missing, and Moro replies with, your new technique requires you to inflict damage. And he's not going to make the same mistake twice. So all he has to do is dodge Vegeta, and this is quite easily done with his new power, with his, or say, original power that he got back from 7-3 that he was storing in 7-3 as a backup plan. Gohan actually says, well, since he absorbed 7-3, it's only going to last 30 minutes. But Moro's like, that doesn't apply to me because the power has returned home. There is no time limit for him because he gave 7-3 his power to store. So he kind of got a rebuff of his power back. So Vegeta tries swinging at him again. Nothing. He cannot hit this guy. So Vegeta actually gets grabbed by Moro on the neck, kind of like what 7-3 does to copy his abilities. So he copies Vegeta's abilities in these next panels here. Shows Vegeta that he has taken his power. Vegeta's like, what's going on? And then Gohan explains to Vegeta that to Goku that he's copied Vegeta's abilities or by grabbing behind their neck. And Goku's like fascinated with this, like he's amazed with it and like, oh geez, what's next? So Moro starts beating. Now Moro takes the offensive and starts beating Vegeta senseless. He's just whacking Vegeta, taking him to the ground, banging his head. And then all of a sudden Moro kind of like does a familiar pose, exactly what Vegeta does, and charges up an attack here and says to Vegeta, Gohan says that's Vegeta's move, and Moro says big bang attack, isn't that what you call Vegeta? And he fires that explosive huge chi blast to Vegeta and takes him out. Vegeta is down for the count. He's smoking. He's crispy. He's gone, man. So close up on Vegeta. He's still alive, but he is not looking good at all. He looks like he's out for the rest of the fight. Moro says, was that supposed to impress anyone? Such a grandiose name for such an ordinary chi blast. So he's kind of giving Vegeta some shade there, which is highly disrespectful. So Piccolo exclaims, this is real bad. This is worse than we realized. If he's got Vegeta's abilities, then he can use that Force Spirit Fission, that separation. So he explains that any fusion technique is totally out of the works because it's just not going to work. Goes into the next panel. We go to the lookout, Kami's lookout, and we see Bulma and gang there. And Oolong goes, "There's that. They've got no one left to fight." And Dende says, I'm going to go down there and try to restore their energy. So it looks like Dende's trying to, you know, take on his role as Earth's guardian, or as Earth's god. So he's trying to help out here. And then it shows Krillin bouncing away. I guess he's kind of hiding his power level so he's not noticed. And he's got a bag of senso beans in his hand. So these are going to take play in the next chapter or two. We'll see. We have to remember that Dende's in the game now, and Krillin is also in the game. So I'm afraid that Dende might die, because we have the other Namekian, the X guy, I think his name is, or whatever, in the fray now. So I don't know what's gonna happen. If Dende dies, that'd be pretty sad. But Krillin's coming with the senso beans. If Dende doesn't work, those senso beans are there. So we'll see. Let's continue. So anyway, the next panel, real cool looking panel. Really like this panel. It's Piccolo and Gohan just powering up. They're like, ah. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of old school DBZ. Like, they're just powering up and just going at them. That's how things are done. So they're doing a wombo combo here, teammate. And I hope in the anime that Gohan keeps his Piccolo clothing, his Piccolo gi. So I really hope that he doesn't go back to the Goku gi, I should say Master Roshi gi. But I hope he sticks with Piccolo's clothes in the anime, like it is here in the manga. So they're teaming up. They're trying to hit Moro. Moro's of course fending him off easily, taking out the garbage. Moro fires multiple cheap ki blasts at Gohan. And next panel, Piccolo's on the ground, but Piccolo has his extendy arms. He extends his arms and actually gets a hold of Moro, his legs. Moro's kind of surprised by this, and fires a ki blast at Piccolo. And Piccolo says, "I won't let go if you need to kill me." Moro says he doesn't want to kill them because he's trying to eat them. He's trying to devour their energy. Yeah, that's his meal, he explains to Piccolo. And as the smoke clears from Gohan actually is taking Gotenks' move, that donut energy beam, and fires it at Moro, and gets it around Moro, and he kind of controls the beam to have it snug into Moro to kind of capture Moro and hold him in place for a little bit. So Piccolo's got his legs, and now Gohan's got one of his arms at least. And Piccolo's like, "Unleash it now, Goku." So this is a really cool scene. We see Goku instant transmission with a full power Kamehameha wave, and he unleashes it onto Moro. Moro's sort of surprised, but it looks like he thinks he can handle it. And Goku powers up even more. It looks like he's giving his total all here. And Moro struggles a little bit, and the smoke clears in the next panel, and it shows Moro is missing an arm. So it's kind of giving back that Cell kind of vibes, but instead of just in the final flash, it was kind of like Cell missed his arm, and now Moro's missing his arm as well. So Moro's not too pleasantly happy about this, him missing his arm. And walks up to Goku, and you got to remember he has Piccolo's regeneration abilities, and as his arm is regenerating, he goes and cuts a hole right through Goku. So this is highly concerning. So Goku now has a gaping hole in his like, not where his heart is, but where his chest is, or I'm sorry, where his kind of lung area is. So Goku's definitely missing a lung right now, and he is going to be he is in rough shape, even close to death right now. And Moro explains, Piccolo's regeneration Um, did I fail to mention that the abilities 7-3 copied are now mine forever with no pesky time limits? So, unfortunately, this is not looking great. Gohan's like, Dad, Gohan's not happy about this. He's pissed. And Goku just falls on, is just kind of falling like a stack of bricks onto Moro's legs and onto the ground there. And Moro kicks him and is like, don't pass on yet. I still got to devour you. And Gohan just comes full speed and he's pissed off. And he's whacking on Moro. Whacking on him. And Moro just kind of like clenches his fist and does a kind of like a I don't know what it's like, a back fist to Gohan, and sends him flying, and Gohan's bleeding from the nose there and on the ground. So the Moro does compliment on Gohan's strength. It looks like he says they Saiyans seem to receive a power boost when enraged. So that's still a thing, especially with the half Saiyans, I believe. But it's hardly enough to reach the power he's at right now. So Dende starts telepathically communicating with Piccolo, and he says that he's on his way. But Piccolo notices that Moro hears this because it's an ability that the Namekians have, is telepathic communication. So Piccolo is like, Dende, stop talking, get out of, don't stay away from here. Just stay away from here. So now Moro knows that Dende can regenerate people, that he can heal people. So Moro puts this barrier around the battlefield so nobody can't get in and nobody can't get out. So pretty smart move by Moro. He says any unwanted new assistants are now not a problem anymore. And then the next panel, Dende is shown that he finally gets to the barrier, and he's like, what's going on? I can't get in. And then it shows Krillin going in there, seeing the barrier, so he's close as well. And he's like, what the hell is this now? So it's like, oh man, another problem, another obstacle, another quote-unquote barrier, right? So Moro just kind of like force waves Piccolo and Jacko back and throws them back. And then all of a sudden, androids 17 and 18 appear behind Moro's back, and they are about to attack him. This is a really cool panel. A lot of people really like this. Moro sees this immediately, and then goes cowboy style with his finger guns, and goes behind his back, not even looking at him, and starts shooting him with like a gun, like gunpoint, like guns. And it's a really cool. I really hope they adapt that to the anime. That should be a really cool part. I can see that in a promo too, in like Toonami, like Moro just clicking his gun fingers and key blasting the guys. Really cool shot. I hope they do more really neat things like that in the future chapters. And of course now Android 17 and 18 are out. So Piccolo begins apologizing to Jacko that he's sorry that he got himself into all this. But Jacko says, it's my duty as a, galactic patroller of this, galaxy and all that. And then Piccolo's like, yeah, I won't feel so bad about this. So he starts powering up and concentrating all his energy in it looks like a light grenade thing he's doing. But Jacko's like, what's going on, buddy? And Piccolo explained that barrier is a blessing in disguise, so it's keeping any destruction contained, so it's enhancing whatever he's about to do. And he's pretty much gonna blow himself up. He's gonna self-sacrifice here. And Jacko's like, oh man, he could have just given me a moment. And then all of a sudden, Piccolo's beam cannon, his own move, comes flying at and goes right through his stomach. And it takes him out. And Piccolo's down for the count. Probably close to death again. Moro's like, no nonsense from you anymore. Just lie there. And Moro says, now you're the only one left, Galactic Patrol. So they show all the Z fighters. They're all down for the count. And Jacko's like, oh man, he's screwed. Goes back to Dende on top of the barrier, and he's like, this is awful. Couldn't do anything. Some god of earth I am. And then all of a sudden, there's a humming noise, and there's a little circle opens up for Dende, and he falls right through it. So he got through the barrier, and he's like, huh, like what's going on? And then the next panel says, Dende says the barrier just opened up, and he looks, and then all of a sudden, this isn't over yet. Somebody says, God of Earth, and obviously there's a person there, not showing the face, an angel garb. Dende's like, it's you, and it goes back to the fight, Moro and Jacko. And Jacko's like, stay back, I'm warning you. And Moro's like, you don't even have enough energy worth my time, so I'm gonna kill you. Jacko's like, buzz off, scun, and fires his gun off. And as his energy beam floats, a second energy beam very similar to Jacko's beam comes by, and Moro immediately notices it and is super surprised by it. And all of a sudden, a big explosion happens. Jacko's like, did I do that? And it closes up on Moro, and it says, you imbued that shot with your own energy. And Jacko's like, what? And Jacko turns around, and he's like, oh, Agent Miris. So it looks like Miris was in his angel garb and then transformed back into his Galactic Patrol. So it looks like possibly Miris is going to fight him using only his condensed powers as a Galactic Patrolman. So instead of his angelic powers. So this might be a way of having the Grand Priest or Xano not erase him, because he's not using his angelic powers to interfere with mortal affairs. He's using his quote unquote mortal ones, I guess. So Agent Miris, but you aren't really Moro says, but you aren't really Galactic Patrol, are you? And then Miris smiles, and then that's the end of the chapter. So another interesting chapter. It was more on the lines of Moro just being the living crap, and just almost killing everybody of the Z Warriors, unfortunately. And Moro looks like he's a powerhouse. So it looks like Miris is trying to give Dende or Krillin time to regenerate and get the Z Warriors back up, so he doesn't have to use his angelic powers. So my conclusion, we're at the end of the chapter. My conclusion is another very good chapter. This is a very violent chapter. A lot of blood going on. I really hope they bring back at least some blood. I'm not asking for like a bloodbath for the anime I'm talking about. I'm just asking for a little driplets of blood here and there, nothing crazy, but bring back that a little bit, So I understand like Japan has it in a kid's time, but they have One Piece in a kid's time slot. There's a lot of blood in there. With all this Demon Slayer, freaking My Hero even. So it's like, I don't know. I hope they bring it back. I hope they bring the blood stuff back, but it doesn't have to be on an incredible scale of massive amounts of blood, just enough to say, hey, these guys are taking some serious damage, and it's showing, right? So, but my conclusion, it was a violent chapter. We can see Moro is not fooling around, and he wants to continue to consume more power. What do I think is going to happen in the next chapter of Miris? I think he's going to try to delay Moro as much as possible, and I think Dende's going to try to attempt to heal the Z Warriors. I think he might heal maybe one or two, and then get killed by Moro. I think Moro's going to see what's happening behind his back, and Moro's going to immediately kill him. And it's going to be like Frieza. There is like when Frieza noticed that Dende was, I think it was Dende. Yeah, Dende was healing. Yeah, it was Dende. Dende was healing the people to get them back on their feet, and he immediately killed him. So I think Dende's gonna get the same fate again here, and I think Krillin is gonna save the rest of the Z Warriors with his Senzo beams. But that's my calculations. We might see Mastered Ultra Instinct with Goku, um, and that should be something to see. But I'd still like to see my favorite character, Lord Beerus, come in the fray because he can interfere here. He has no problem interfering here. But maybe they might save him for an even more powerful foe. I don't know. So we'll see. I liked the chapter. Once again, tell me what your thoughts were if you guys are interested in commenting. I'm going to end the video here, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Adios.